Hey friends, this week was very productive coming into the new month, church, college, all the things. Let's get into it. Happy Sunday, friends. It is March 1st. To have both February and March start on a Sunday feels just so meant to be and so appropriate. A Sunday reset for not just the week, but the month as a whole is super elite. 2026 has already been a great year so far, and it's also been extremely busy as well. To be completely honest, yesterday I definitely had I start weekend recap tomorrow type of moment, just because I have been so locked in on homework all week and even spending most of my weekend in the books and just getting these assignments done or getting ahead for the week in general. Needless to say, spring break can't come fast enough, but focusing on the present now, today is church day and the praise tunes are blasting per usual. Okay, I'm having a time while getting ready this morning, and I will have y'all know that House of Hope Atlanta, my second church, oh my goodness, they went in all the way in this morning. What God is doing in House of Hope in this season is totally unmatched, and I am here for it 100%. It has been just an amazing past few weeks of services, but for now, we're just going to focus on what took place today, just because it is Pastor Smith's anniversary.
But we're here to worship our God for giving us one of the greatest pastors on this side of heaven. Can you help me celebrate our pastor, the Reverend Dr. E. Dewey Smith Jr.? Come on. For 22 years, church, I want you to celebrate our pastor and Lady A as they walk in. Come on, celebrate them. 22 years of excellence. Come on, they look good. They look good. Come on, church, clap your hands. Let's honor our God. This is our pastor. Hallelujah.
Do me one favor, everybody clap your. One more time. Trouble in my way. I had to cry sometime. So much trouble. I had to cry sometimes. Lord, I laid awake at night. But that's all right. Look at somebody and tell them, I know that Jesus, yeah, fix it after a while. Lord, anybody in this room know that Jesus will? What about y'all over here? Anybody know that Jesus will? Yeah, come on, after a while that. Do me one favor, everybody clap your. Y'all not clapping, clap your. Y'all help me right here. Whoa! One more time, one more time. Fix it, Lord. Please, fix it, Lord. I need you, I want you. Got to have you, got to have you. Fix it, Lord. Please, 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 please. Fix it, please, Jesus. I need you. Help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. I can't depend on nobody. I need you, 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 I need you. I promise I know we got to go. I promise I know we got to go. Y'all help me one more time. Help me call. We got to get off this stage. Come on, everybody call him Jesus, my Jesus, sweet Jesus, power, power, in the name of Jesus, save it, in the name of Jesus, 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 woo, Jesus.
goodness, that's church before church, you guys. As you can see, the praise party for Pastor Smith's anniversary was absolutely banging. You always got to get the praise party started before you get to church. It hits different every single time, whether you feel good or you don't. But today I feel like it. I feel good. And it's a beautiful day after a relatively cloudy and rainy weekend at home. It's also the birthday of one of my best friends. You guys hear me refer to my high school besties as siblings, my sister and brother. Today is my brother's birthday. My brother and I obviously look nothing alike, but that has never mattered to us at all because at some point in our lives, we learn or realize that family isn't just the people that are your blood, but also the people that are your heart. I never grew up with a brother or siblings at all. So to have that brother figure who is on the same page in life as me from college, personal life, and all that stuff is just so special that we get to share the journey together. He is everything I've known brothers to do and be like, from protector, bodyguard, that kind of stuff. To get to have a glimpse of that in my life makes me so happy and adds to my life in ways that are very hard to explain. Although we are further apart in distance now because of college, it means so much that we're still close, even though we don't get to see each other every day. I didn't know I needed a brother until God gave me one, and it's been one of the greatest blessings of these past few years of my life. Although I am the older big sister, every big sister needs their little brother. So happy birthday to my brother Bear. Now it is time to head to church.
Hallelujah, Lord, hallelujah, we praise your name. Hallelujah, so hallelujah.
Yes.
Go ahead and praise him and bless his name. You are good. I know I serve a good God. I know I serve a good God. I know I serve a good God. Come on and say you are good. All the time. All the time. You are good. You are good. You are good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you are good. You are good.
Well, friends, happy Tuesday. I skipped yesterday because it was honestly a physical, emotional, and mental whirlwind to an extent, but I am much better and good today. So now come with me for a mini day in the life as a college student. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, my day starts later and ends later, at least as far as college is concerned. My day starts roughly around 9:30 a.m., maybe 20-30 minutes later if I snooze, which tends to happen more than I care to admit, but today I am on schedule. I put my hair up today because it's definitely dirty, so that just means that my hair will be like this for the rest of the week until I get it done this weekend. Very much looking forward to that as my self-care time because I have been an academic workaholic. About makeup, I have on lashes right now, which is saving me time, and it's definitely much easier than putting on and taking off mascara, and I did put on eyeliner as well. I did a lash reset for the week and retired last week's lashes that I reused from last Monday all the way to Sunday. I have been putting on lashes since Women's Church anniversary weekend in January and have not turned back at all. I love the 421 Naked Lashes by Ardell. That is the brand that I use. I visit Amazon and Target frequently for lashes. The weather is exceptionally gorgeous, so I pulled out my shorts today in celebration. And on Sunday, we get our 7 p.m. sunsets back, and I am all for that, being a Florida girl. And being outside is more enjoyable now because it's not freezing. We are definitely on the up and up. I have one class from 11 to 12:15 and then a break for lunch before my 2 to 3:15 class. So I pack a lunch on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I don't leave just because I use my break time to eat and work, so I get the most out of my time and not break my complete focus. I am now out the door and ready to go. I made it to college and it's about a 20-minute drive from home. I have 20 minutes to spare before ethics, which is my first class today. It is Tuesday, the first day this week of ethics class, so new week means new material. Class is dismissed and it is officially lunchtime. As you guys saw while I was packing my lunchbox, I didn't pack a super big lunch today, just a cup of mac and cheese and some water to both drink and put in the mac and cheese to make. But after my second class, I will definitely go and get something more fulfilling. Because after that class, I am done for the day and now it is time to work and eat at the same time. I sincerely thought about going to the library like I normally always do, but the weather is quite nice today, and so I wanted to sit outside and soak up the sun instead. So for today's break time, I am working on my note cards for my research speech in public speaking, which I will do tomorrow. I am using these note cards to help guide my speech and what I need to talk about in chronological order from introduction to main ideas, supporting evidence, and conclusion. My topic is social media use and its effects on overall health. My alarm went off, which means that it's time to head to my 2 p.m. class, which is literature and film. I like to give myself a 15-minute window to walk over, use the restroom, and head to class. Last week we took a midterm. I don't know just yet how I did. I think I did good though, we shall see. But my time outside today was really nice and pleasant, and this good weather definitely has me convinced that I'll be spending my break times outside more often before it gets scorching hot in a few weeks. Class definitely ended 10 minutes ago, but I was yapping with some of the girls in my group who are so fun to work with. Mom says she's gonna cook, but I don't know if I believe that statement, so Panda Express is going to do the job, and usually I end up having leftovers, so that will at least get me through late lunch and then again before bed if I want to eat. My usual order is a plate with half fried rice and half noodles with orange chicken, and sometimes for my second entree I go back and forth between string bean chicken and teriyaki, but today I picked teriyaki. I always have chill time to eat and nap every single day before getting into homework. My power nap always does wonders so that I can go a couple hours and get things done efficiently instead of falling asleep with the computer in my lap. Fast forward an hour or so and now it's homework time. My power nap was super nice. And with that being said, that's a mini college day from beginning to end. I'll hopefully check in with you guys again tomorrow. Good friends, it is Wednesday. Today was a very good day. I did my research speech for public speaking. I was slightly on edge about it, but I had my note cards to help me out. We had to research either an artifact or a concept that we're very passionate about. I decided to do my speech on social media and its effects on overall health from the negative side. I'm a communications major and also a content creator for fun, and I know how social media can be impactful both positively and negatively, so that was my greatest adventure for today. I wanted to share something in someone I haven't talked about in a while in depth, which would be my pop-pop. This was my dad's dad who passed away almost 3 years ago. March 22nd will make 3 years, which is hard to believe because I still remember that day and everything that happened like it was yesterday. But I was thinking about this time 3 years ago, just trying to spend as much time as I could with Pop because as his health was declining, we never knew when or how he would pass away, having multiple health conditions. Some of the best conversations, laughs, and memories were made in the last several weeks with him, and there were some times I didn't want to go over, not because I didn't love Pop, but just because seeing him in his condition was mentally and emotionally brutal, but I still made myself go because I knew if I didn't, that I would regret it in the long run. I was seeing a man of wisdom turn into someone whose speech was slurred and his memory was kind of drifting, at least short term. He didn't have dementia from a diagnosed medical standpoint, but my parents and I really do believe that he was in the early stages of it. I saw someone who was my hero and protector of my heart struggle because his heart was failing him, and he felt like he could no longer be the hero that I always knew him to be. People see me functioning and thriving in various areas of life now and forget that I am living life without two of my favorite people on the planet, Pop Pop and Meemaw, but I remember my Pop Pop more just because I had more time with him, but both losses were tough. And I will say I'm in a much better headspace in life after loss compared to a year afterwards or even 2 years. And that's not to say that life isn't hard without them in certain seasons, but it just means that somehow, some way, I have found my way. At first, when you lose someone, minute by minute and hour by hour is the focus, but as you get several years out, it's more of like season by season of life per se. And sometimes it's a certain season that is more harder than others just because it's maybe a monumental season that they're missing in your life, a holiday season, a season of their personal events such as birthday or death. And so it's a much larger concept of the seasons than just the regular day-to-day in the beginning. So that's just kind of where I'm at, kind of in my reflective phase of how life was and now what it is, life before and after loss. I don't wish it on anyone because it's a missing piece of the puzzle for the rest of your life, no matter how much better life gets. As a church girl and a pastor's kid, I've heard just about every cliche possible, and it gets old trying to comfort people like that. So I don't recommend it. So that is definitely why March has a soft spot in my heart for sure. Even through the thoughts and memories of this season, I am so grateful for the moments of distraction to keep my mind from racing. And one good distraction now is Bible study. I am definitely ready for a midweek reset. Happy Friday, friends. Yesterday was long, just like every day this week was, but today it's work day and self-care day, a little bit of both. Hair is definitely a mess right now, but I'm not worried too much about it just because I'm about to go get it done. I felt like putting on some makeup today just because getting ready for the day gives good vibes. This week has obviously been strenuous academically. I feel like I've been in an academic workaholic mode for a few weeks, like weekdays and weekends of homework. There's always something due, and then you turn around and there's another test to study for or quiz to take before it locks up in Canvas. It's just a whirlwind, but I am getting so close to my AA, so that really is my motivation for finishing the way I intend to. I also have the most incredible family who has always supported and encouraged me in every area of life, including academics and college. So that also makes it a lot easier to keep going when you know that you are greatly loved and supported. So overall, today's a good day. Weather is gorgeous, and I'm just looking forward to a great afternoon. Happy Sunday, friends. Okay, quick debrief because this morning was an absolute wreck. So get ready with me was not going to happen. And plus, I already did that with y'all starting out last week. I woke up maybe around 5 this morning and was asleep off and on. It was weird. Then I finally got up and it was later than usual, but it's okay because with today being daylight savings time, I already knew that we would be running late and behind as a core family unit. And it was also raining out of the blue, which means that this technically isn't what I was supposed to wear today. So yeah, lots of Sunday morning craziness, but we managed to get to church on time once again, have a nice dinner together as a family with clear skies, and now we are home doing our own thing. So it's a very relaxing evening. I got to do something very special in today's service at church. I was just recently ordained as a minister in my church along with a few others as well. This month, all of our ministers will be doing a 3 to 5 mini sermon or sermonette, if you will. So I kicked it off today, and this is what I spoke on. The past few weeks, I have been in academic workaholic mode. As soon as I open my computer, as soon as I unlock it, I have like 10 tabs open on Google, maybe more, I don't know. And God led me to the realization that a cluttered mind can be compared to having too many open tabs on a computer. So how many distractions or worries or unfinished thoughts have we allowed to compete with a peace that surpasses all understanding? So number one, too many tabs equals too many thoughts. When a computer has a bunch of tabs open, it slows down and becomes harder to find the one you actually need. Similar to when the mind is full of worries, regrets, and distractions, it becomes difficult to really focus on what God is saying in the present moment. Spiritually, this reflects the idea of a mental overload. Remember that 1 Peter 5:7 invites us to cast all of our cares and anxieties on him because he cares for us. Closing tabs spiritually looks like prayer, surrender, and releasing control, because sometimes we don't close out a tab because we think we're going to need it later.
Number two, background processes. They drain energy. You can't really tell on a desktop because it's always plugged in, but when you're on a laptop, even when you are not actively looking at each tab, they still run in the background and drain your battery and consume memory. In the same way, unresolved emotions and guilt, comparison and doubt, they quietly drain mental and spiritual energy. And this is why we have to rest in this stillness, according to Psalms 46:10, which says, "Be still and know that I am God." Stillness helps to close tabs so that the mind can rest. Stillness means that you can be confident in the results, even when you don't understand the process. In order to fully embrace a peace that surpasses all understanding, you have to give up your need to understand. Number three, losing sight of the main window. With too many tabs, the main task becomes buried and you lose track of where you're at. A cluttered mind can cause someone to lose sight of purpose, calling, or peace. Clarity comes when focus is returned back to God. Colossians 3:2 tells us to set our mind on things above. When you set your mind on things above, you won't look at what's down below. Number four, the power of closing tabs. Just as a computer runs more efficiently after closing unnecessary tabs, the mind becomes clearer when burdens are released. And this can happen through prayer, worship, forgiveness, and quiet reflection. All of these ways of clearing mental space is for God's peace. Whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of a good report. If there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. Philippians 4:8. It is time to declutter your mind.
I did not tell you guys this last week when God actually gave me this revelation because I wanted to save it for today. I did post this clip separate from this vlog so that you can go watch it without having to scroll through weekend recap. So that is a little quick devotion for you. It's time now to get in the shower and put on my PJs and chill for the rest of the night and go to bed early because daylight savings time definitely messed me up big time, okay? Last week I did a college routine on Tuesday showing you my Tuesday, Thursday routine, and then tomorrow I'll do a college routine for my Monday, Wednesday routine because it is very different. We'll catch up tomorrow. Well, it's Monday and there's 4 more college days left, including today before we hit spring break, and I am so very excited. I'm in desperate need of a break. Today's going to be a more quiet day in the life part of the vlog, but I will have timestamps up so you guys can follow along with the details of my day. Oh goodness, y'all, it's still Monday, and since y'all saw me last, I have returned home and my hair is up now, and I'm just yapping at y'all now, trying to bring this weekend recap plane in for a landing. I came home, and then my mom, she actually went out to go run errands and whatnot, and she called and was like, "Do you want Chick-fil-A?" I'm like, "You know what, queen? Yes, absolutely. Bring it on home." And today has honestly been a very good day. Chick-fil-A would just hit hard and make the day even better. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my mini condensed version of my college routine today. My Monday, Wednesday schedule is different from my Tuesday, Thursday schedule. It was definitely a nice treat to leave public speaking a lot earlier than normal, than what we're used to. As y'all saw in my timestamps, we had low attendance, which is usual, I mean, for presentation days, just because nobody wants to deliver their speech. So as a result, we were definitely highly encouraged to reach out to our classmates and let them know, hey, like, if you haven't done your speech, like, you need to come do it before you get a 0 and all that stuff. So our professor was like, reach out to some people if you have their contact information and just encourage them to come to class and do what they need to do. I'm not complaining at all that class ended early today. I mean, leaving class early meant that I got to come home early, so yeah. And as far as homework is concerned, like tonight, I really don't have anything pressing to do at the moment, just because I took the weekend to really get everything done that I needed to get done for last week to finish, or at least start out this week before going into spring break. To be kind of out of that workaholic zone is fantastic, because last week I was nonstop, like crazy. And it's not necessarily the work that is hard, but I mean, although sometimes it can be, but it's more of like the timing of everything. So 75% of my classes, so 3 out of 4, have quizzes on a very consistent basis that are due like, and they all lock in Canvas if you don't do them by the specific date and time that's set for it. So it's not always the work necessarily, but rather the time it takes to get it done and balancing all of my classes. I will say though, Google Tasks definitely runs my life. It's the schedule of my life. I put everything in there that I need to do and get done, and that is really how I manage my time and remember everything. You guys have seen me start one week, end that week, and then start another week. So this has been a week in my life plus extra, since I had some more time with y'all coming out of this weekend. Daylight savings time, I don't know if y'all can tell, tore me up so bad, okay? I'm still tired. It's unreal. I hope y'all are recovering from losing that hour like I'm trying to. That was brutal. Anyways, that's all I had for y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining and coming along this week with me. Bye!